I'd like to call to order the Zoning Board of Appeals meeting of March 6th at 7:04 PM. Let me just get I moved it, so now I don't have it. The first agenda item we have is a public hearing for Dawn Valentine, case number 2024-04, 10 Towel Court. I'm looking for, if you bear with me for a minute. The Town of Douglas Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing at 7 PM on Wednesday, March 6, 2024, in the Douglas Municipal Center, Resource Room, 29 Depot Street, Douglas, Mass., to hear the following application. Dawn Valentine has filed for a special permit pursuant to Mass General Law 40A, Section 9, and of the Douglas zoning bylaws, Section 9.3, Appendix A, Section C, .3 craft consumer professional or commercial services established in a village residential zone district for the establishment of a home-based massage therapy business. The property is located at 10 Towel Court, assesses map 137, parcel 74. Any persons interested or wishing to be heard should appear at the time and place designated. The agenda has been advertised on the town website, and a copy of the application is available for review during regular business hours in the Douglas Community Development Department, 29 Depot Street, Douglas, Mass. It was advertised in the Worcester Telegram and Gazette. Anybody here that wants to talk on this? Before we get too deep into it, I was looking at this, and I had a question. That I need some clarity on myself. So under 3.2.1, accessory uses in a residential district, home occupation as of right. A home occupation may be allowed as of right, provided that it, under F, does not produce any customers, pupils, or client trips to the occupation site and has no non-resident employees. My question is whether or not this is a use variance that we're going to use, and are we allowed to do it? It says it's under accessory uses, so I'm assuming that it is a use variance. And are we allowed to grant this? Is there a provision in there that says that this is allowed with the special permit for this type of business?
I did not see an allowance on that paragraph.
And I didn't either. So in fairness to you, I would suggest that you may want to continue it for 1 month so then we could get clarity, and maybe that you can also try to find something that shows us that you can have it. I'm unsure whether or not you can have it. I can open up to the rest of the board if they have any insight as to any interpretation to it. We have the chairman online. Dan, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right. So I had sent you that section out of the book, just for clarity. He doesn't have the whole zoning book with him, so it's not like he can dig it from cover to cover. But that's the concern that I had that I sent to you a little while ago, Dan.
Yes. I think if we got a town council's opinion on it, that would...
I'm just trying to be as fair as possible to the applicant. I don't want to be forced to move to a decision because I don't know if we can do it or not.
Right.
And I'm going to go on the side of caution myself, so. If you, what's that?
Get your book.
Yeah, Ken's going to look something up for me.
Okay.
He might have had a quick thought.
believe that covers it, special permit such as granted by the Board of Appeals.
For such uses is what? Everything that's in here? Where does it say? No, this here goes to the section I was in. This is the new section, home occupation business.
Yeah, but it also complies with B, C, D, and G.
This is F. That's a struggle that I have, so I want to make sure.
Yep.
That's the only issue that I have, so I want to make sure that we have the ability to grant it before we move forward with it. Would you be willing to continue this for a month, to come back to, just to make sure that we get the right thing? I just have to see if, she gave us a, what's the,
Continuation.
no, wait a minute. It should be on my agenda. That's okay. Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
so I don't have one of the continuation forms here, but we have 90 days in which to make a decision. I don't see any issue why we could just continue it even without that form. Do you have an issue with that?
No, I agree. I mean, I think everything's in place. We just need to know if we can do it.
Correct. Okay. So I'm looking for a motion to continue case number 2024. Where'd it go? Ronnie, you keep moving my papers on me? 2024-04.
Works, don't it?
Yeah.
So moved.
Motion's been made, a second?
I think the
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor, and we need a roll call vote.
Aye. Aye, Palmer.
I, Ron Forget.
Aye, Dan Heaney.
Fitzpatrick, aye. So, next month, you'll be back the first Wednesday of the month. I don't know the date off the top of my head, I guess. Let's see. March. April 3rd? April 3rd at 7 o'clock? Thank you.
Thanks.
Hopefully your voice is better next time. Good, they're all at 7 o'clock, so we don't have to wait. The next public hearing is for Nicholas and Mary Beth Mello, 2024-05 at 209 Southwest Main Street. This is a continuation from last month. Go ahead, Margaret.
I don't think it's a continuation.
Didn't we continue it?
No, no, there's no one. There was another,
Oh, you know what it was?
there was another one.
I was at conservation. Then I seen market conservation, and then in my head, I'm like, oh, yeah, continuation. Sorry about that. So anyways, the Town of Douglas Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing beginning at 7 PM, March 6, 2024, in the Douglas Municipal Center Resource Room, 29 Depot Street, Douglas, Mass. To hear the following. Nicholas and Mary Beth Mello are requesting a special permit in an RA zone district pursuant of Mass General Law 48, Section 9, and the Douglas zoning bylaws, Section 9.3 and Section 3.4.3, non-conforming structures to reconstruct a single-family home on a pre-existing non-conforming lot on property located at 209 Southwest Main Street, Assessors Map 227, parcel 34. Any persons interested or wishing to be heard should appear at the time and place designated. It was advertised on the Douglas website, the agenda. A copy of the application is available to review during the regular business hours at Douglas Community Development Department, 29 Depot Street, Douglas, Massachusetts. It was advertised in the Worcester Telegram and Gazette. And the floor is yours.
Okay, good evening. Margaret Bacon, Allen Engineering. And I'm here representing Mary Beth and Nicholas Mello regarding an existing cottage at 209 Southwest Main Street. We have Laurel Lake right here, Southeast Main Street, and Wallen Lake Road's over here, just to get your bearings. So currently, this is the existing cottage that's on the parcel. I'm gonna just pass that around. What we'd like to do is, replace that existing cottage with another structure. I have copies of the plans here. I don't know if you have plans in the packet.
Yes, we do. Yep, we have the house plans.
Yeah. I don't know if I put it in there or not, so.
No, they're in there.
So the house they're proposing is gonna be similar in size, and just to get your bearings here, the yellow here is the existing cottage, the orange is the proposed. Based on, we've already been through the Conservation Commission several meetings, and they requested to keep the house up in line with the current house.
Yeah.
Even though we have the front zoning setback, here's the zoning setback right here in pink, okay? So we meet the sideline zoning, but we're a little beyond the frontage, but we're in line with the existing. So, as mentioned, we've been through the Conservation Commission several meetings, tweaked this plan a few times, and so this is the latest plan that the Conservation Commission seems to be good with. And so at the last meeting, we kind of, we didn't close it until after the zoning board, just to make sure there's no other changes. So the commission seemed satisfied, and
They're not going to move it.
no, because I
Okay.
asked. So we kept the meeting open. So basically, it's replacing that existing cottage with a new, it's going to be it could be year-round, but they're going to use it as a cottage, two-bedroom house. There's an existing tight tank that's going to be replaced with a bigger tight tank. And then the Conservation Commission had some restrictions and things like that. They're on this latest plan.
This is going to be on piers, Margaret?
Correct.
Yeah.
Maybe Don can talk about those a little better.
Yes, it's going to be on Don McCallum, 85 Southwest Main Street. It's going to be on piers 3 foot above the ground. And the reason for that, because it's in the floodplain.
Yeah, I just brought it up because the other members aren't privy to the meeting that I was confused on, conservation, that you used the elevations from the other side of the street, Cedar Street, which was a
Yeah.
clever little trick to figure out where your high water mark was.
It was, so
Yeah.
here, so this blue line right here is that floodplain. So everything in that blue that way is floodplain, and that's at elevation 663. And the proposed first floor of the new building is going to be at 664. So that's going to be a foot above. And we did a little compensatory storage to make up for the piers, and we raised the septic tank a little, so we did carve out a little area for compensatory storage.
Anybody on the board have any questions?
No.
I'm fine.
Dan, do you have any questions on this?
No, it's pretty clear.
It appears that you're in the same footprint. The house doesn't really look like it's getting any bigger.
It's
It's an A-frame style, right?
Right,
That's going to go in there, so you may have a little increase in the footage. But is that a two-bedroom house now?
Is it what?
Two-bedroom home now, building, whatever?
The assessors call it a
They do.
two-bedroom.
Yeah, okay.
This will have a second floor loft, sleeping.
Right, because it's an A-frame. Yep. I don't have any other questions. I'm going to open it up to the floor. Anybody in the audience that has any questions? Comments, anything? Okay. What do we want to do? We want to make a decision tonight? Yes, Ronnie?
I'll make a motion.
Well, we have to close the public hearing
Okay.
first. So that's why I'm asking if we want to move to a decision tonight, we'll close the public hearing. I'll need a motion to close the public hearing.
I make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
Second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion?
No.
Seeing as none, all in favor, roll call, please.
Palmer, aye.
Ron Forget, aye.
Dan Heaney, aye.
Fitzpatrick, aye. Ready for a decision?
Yes.
We need a motion from somebody. Good.
I'll make a motion to approve the project as presented.
Just for the minute taker, I'm just going to add, if I don't keep losing it, no, I have them all over the place. Case number 2024-05. We're going to note the plan by Allen and Associates, Allen Engineering and Associates, that was received by the town clerk on February 15, 2024. The job number is 542. According to the plan is dated October 3rd, 2023. Also,
Mr. Chair, yeah.
oh, the revision. What's your revision?
The final revision number 4, okay, 2/26/24, okay? This was just from the last Conservation Commission meeting, so you probably haven't got that one.
No, I don't have that one.
You can take this one, and then I'll...
Yeah, you'll have to submit it with it. So that was the date of that revision is what?
It's 2/26/24.
2/26/24. Thank you, Margaret. Also submitted was a building plan by Winemaster Home Design, plan number 4505. It's showing an A-frame style home. That is, I guess we'll just submit that plan instead of getting into reading all these measurements and trying to add them up. So motion's been made, and I need a second.
Second.
Second. What's that? Oh, motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion?
No.
Seeing as none, all in favor, roll call vote, please.
Palmer, aye.
Ron Forget, aye.
Dan Heaney, aye.
Fitzpatrick, aye. Sometimes it takes up to a month to get our approvals typed up. We just signed some from last month. Once that's typed up, Jen will notify you, after we sign it. Jen will notify you, then you get 20 days for the appeal period.
Okay,
All right?
great, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Margaret. If I could just steal your plan to give to Jen, that'll keep me out of trouble.
Yeah, and I'll give her a
No.
couple of
What's that?
fresh copies. But yeah, this is the latest and greatest, and it's just a little extra conservation stuff on it, that's all. But it's the
That's
latest plan, okay?
All right, thank you. Did you want these pictures back? I can give them to Jen for the file.
Yeah, you can put them in the file. So I don't keep losing this stuff. I had like 12 different things, and now there we go. Here we go. That's the folder. Ronnie's fault.
So I see some people here from 31 Glen Street. We did receive a letter, which I'll get into in a second. Because it's only under discussion, there's not anything that can be voted on tonight, because it's only a discussion. I just have to figure out what I did with your letter now. Too much paperwork. That's why Dan has this job and not me. I'm just going to read it into the record so then we have it. We did receive a letter dated January 29, 2024. Dear board members, we are writing in regards to 31 Glen Street. We are in the process, we have progressed a long way in the last year. All the demolition structural work on the house has been completed. A new dormer has been added, and all the interior framing and exterior framing has been completed. A new electrical service has been installed, and a new water service line has been completed. All roof repairs have been made and new roof shingles have been installed. Mr. Frazier has inspected our progress and has given us the okay to start the inside wiring and plumbing. We're about to start the exterior trim, siding, and windows. Some of the challenges we encountered in the past year were the removal of all the fire damage framing materials. We were only able to remove small sections at a time for safety reasons. Rebuilding this area before moving on to the next section. This progress was extremely time-consuming, but we did manage to perform all the work in a safe manner, using an abundance of caution and safety-first approach. An unexpected problem has been the weather. Although snow has not been an issue, rain has plagued us all year long. We want to thank everyone in town that has helped us and supported us. We are proud of what we have accomplished on this project. We are asking for your continued support to get us to the completion. We're asking for a one-year extension to allow Lauren to live in her trailer. We will continue to work in an expedient manner to help to get her in the house, at which point the trailer will no longer be needed. Respectively, Lauren, I'm going to skip that, and Rich. So we attached to that was the original decision that we had in our zoning bylaws. And again, we're not voting on anything, but we're having a discussion, and I'm going to bring up something that's in our zoning bylaw. Under zoning use regulations, Appendix A, which is on page 103 on our zoning book, if anybody cares to read this great, interesting publication. The temporary use of a trailer or a mobile home because of a loss of a dwelling by fire or some other catastrophe for not more than 1 year. That's going to be the challenge that you're going to have moving forward on that. We had hoped, you had hoped that you would be done in a year's time.
Of course, we hope we would, with a very optimistic schedule that we have had.
Yep.
But we've also, tried to move along in a safe manner, too. The house had a lot of challenges removing all the burnt and destroyed structure without losing any of the structure that was good and without getting hurt while doing it. So we removed about 4 feet of floor section at a time, took it down, built staging, and then rebuilt it before we moved on to the next. It took forever, and that set us back quite a bit. Plus, the weather set us back quite a bit on doing any exterior work. We're going along great. We have all the framing done inside the house. We've started the electrical work in the house. We've started siding sections outside, getting windows in as we can. Again, the weather is still plaguing us. And we're going great now. Now there's no demolition involved. So it's all, every day that we're there and we work, we accomplish something new. It's not like we're tearing down, we're spending time tearing down before we can build new. Our progress is going to be much quicker than in the past year. Although I feel like we have accomplished an enormous amount in the last year, too.
Yeah, nobody, so I'm not disputing whether you accomplished anything or not. What I'm pointing out is what is in our zoning regulation use.
I understand that.
So, and again, we're just having a discussion, so you're free to, you say your comments as well as anybody that's in the room or the board members. We won't be making any decision tonight because we can't. Hasn't been advertised. But that's going to be the challenge you have. I would suggest that you get on the agenda and get to a point where you get a vote on this, because that's what I was just looking through. I think this was, you applied in, date of the hearing was January 4th, 2023. So we're a year and a couple months past due on it. I would like to see you on the next agenda to discuss this, so for possible votes. Dan, we can just put it on there for a discussion and possible votes on our next agenda item. There's no reason for any other requirements from the applicant for advertisement or any of that stuff, correct?
No, it doesn't have to be advertised, it's an extension, not a new case.
Yep, no, I just wanted to be clear to everybody that could potentially pay attention to us. That's what because I'm running the meeting tonight, I would suggest, I'm going to open it up to the other people. I'm going to suggest to the other members that we put it on the next agenda so we can get some clarity on this. And
Is there anything we can do in the meantime to learn more about what we,
I would stop in and see the building inspector and get some input from him. He's the zoning enforcement officer.
Yeah.
We're the appeals board, right? So we do have, we have this in here, and it's specific. It says not more than a year. So in the next month's time, just as the first case, I'll get clarity from town council to make sure that we're doing the right thing, whichever way we're going. Can you have it, all right? And if you can have it, how long can you have it for? This tells me not more than a year, so I need clarity on that to make sure. I don't want to make the wrong decision, because then that jeopardizes the town. And I don't want to go the other way and give you, not give you something that you may be entitled to. So I think the fair thing is to next month, get on our agenda.
yeah.
In the meantime, stop in and get some clarity from the building inspector to try to help you get your head around what you can and cannot do in there.
Okay.
Okay? I will take some other comments from the other people in here, but again, this is just a hearing, for discussion. It's not an actual hearing for a possible votes. It would have to say that on our agenda. You mentioned the water line that went in there. I did go by, because it's on the agenda, I went by the house, and I seen that you put in a water line, but I also seen that you put in another driveway.
No. We found another driveway.
Yeah, he found it when he went
When
to
he
go
put the water
make the
line
water
in,
line.
he found that there was another driveway.
So did you just go under the asphalt that was there?
He went on the edge of it.
Okay.
It was there
Yeah,
for
yeah, we
many,
didn't know it was-
we had no
that-
idea.
Okay, so settle down, one at a time and be recognized.
Yeah.
When I went by there and seen it, I'm like, that's strange. So I went up and seen the highway superintendent. I said, it's on Glen Street, the house that burned, how many driveways are there? He says, one. I said, no, there's not, there's two. So he's going to check for that, because I seen it today. And then, because of where the water line, I seen where you put it in, because the cut was in the road, and I seen that the pond was right next door, that would have triggered conservation's, just a notice of intent or something, I would think. Because I asked, so I turned around and I called the water superintendent and Bob Sullivan, and I said, who put in that water line? And he told me who put in the water line, and he also went further and said, I told that installer that he's real close to the water, that he should contact conservation. So your contractor, whoever you use, was aware of that, right? When you're within 100 feet of the water, you have to notify him. You can't just change stuff, right? Wetlands or a body of water or something like that.
I don't dispute that, but we relied on him to do the whole thing, to handle the whole.
Unfortunately, you bear the responsibility as a property owner. Us contractors get away with everything, right? So that's just, it doesn't make sense to me either,
Yeah.
but that's how it works. They don't go after the contractor, they go after the property owner. So anyways, I would suggest that you get, I'm going to hear from these two people because they're patiently waiting for me. And then I suggest that you get on our next, get a hold of Jen, get on our next agenda so you can resolve this thing. And in the meantime, talk to Mr. Frazier.
We will do exactly that.
Yep. Just tell me your name and address.
Sure. Murray Bristol, Dolphin and Concrete.
Yep.
We're, as in a butter,
Well, not where you work, but where do you live?
well, I'm in 84 Millbury Street, Grafton, Mass.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where it is. You can be in Ethiopia as long as I have your address for the minute taker. So,
As in a butter,
Yep.
you know, we're curious to see what the timetable is, you know, for the project moving forward. You know, I mean, we understand you've done a lot, and, you know, we're curious to see what, you know, what you can finish. You know,
Possible.
so.
We are trying to move as quick as possible. You know, living in the trailer is not fun by means, so, yeah, we are trying our best. And I have some pictures of some recent stuff.
yeah, the only, I'm gonna have to stop you right
I have a
there.
couple questions on the,
Yeah, I know that. No, one minute, please. What we can't have is conversations in the audience because the minute taker will not be able to pay any attention to us. So, so your question is about timetable, right?
Through the chair.
So, yep, through the chair. So I don't even want to get into that answer tonight. What I want you to do is prepare a proper answer for the meeting that you get on. In all fairness, everything, instead of, everybody hopes everything, right? So I just want to take the next month, get a realistic time frame as to what, it's going to be helpful for you, right? It's going to help the building inspector, especially if he gets phone calls, he can answer them properly. It's going to help us as the board to help us with our decision, right? You'll be challenged, I'll be honest with you, you'll be challenged if you say it's going to be another year with the trailer because of what I'm reading in here. I got to figure out how I can get past that with town council, and they'll give me guidance on that. If we can, we can. If we can't, we can't. I don't know what that answer is. Do you have anything else?
Me,
Yeah, Cheryl.
Cheryl Dolphin, 35 Glen Street. I
Yep.
live there, my dad owns the place. I have a question. I would like to know, do you guys know where their wastewater is going, gray and black water? Because I know there's no septic there, and I know that there's no town sewer, correct?
Yeah, I'll entertain that.
Curious, 'cause it was something that they were supposed to, that was brought up in the first meeting when I watched
Well,
it.
yeah, well, I remember talking about that you were going to have it pumped out because that question did come out about the, your gray, whatever, your septic tank on the trailer, right? Are you doing that?
Yes.
Yeah.
We had no water at all.
No, I'm asking about the,
Yeah, I know.
when you go to the bathroom and shower.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
he's got that. He's got that. So you have a company that's coming in and pumping out your tank on the trailer? All right. It would be helpful just to eliminate any confusion or questions or whatever. When you're stopping to see Mr. Frazier, just show him some proof of a receipt or something like that, or whoever it is that you're using. I think that'd be the proper way to go about it, so that way we're not going back and forth here at the meeting.
One other question.
Yes.
This, they don't have an occupancy permit there, right? So there's,
Well, it's not,
Perhaps like
they
the
have,
garage?
yeah,
Just
there's no
curious.
occupancy on the house. There's a temporary use of the trailer.
but the garage on the house that burnt, you can't be doing band practice in there, right? Just curious, because
Yeah,
Well-
I don't,
I was not expecting it, and the sound bounce, there was like a drum or something going off like crazy. I thought it was gunshots. The sound bounces off the slope on my property.
Yeah.
And my horse was going out of his mind, and I almost got injured trying to catch him before he hurt himself
Yep.
It was just, scary and loud, and I was like,
Right, no,
I went
absolutely.
running down the hill, and I'm like, whoa.
Yep,
So, my safety, when something like that goes off, it's like, I was never expecting that,
yep. So out of courtity to you, I'm gonna
Just said that
just
twice.
explain something to you. I own horses myself. They're very startled by sudden noise and things like that. You're very close in proximity to each other. It's just, I would suggest you exercise a little courtesy to each other, right? So, no, I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong. A statement was made,
I was
right?
almost trained.
No, wait a minute. A statement was made, and I'm just making a suggestion. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm making a suggestion to you, right? So, with that, I think we should just get on the next agenda, get your ducks in a row, figure out what your time frame's gonna be. Speak with the building inspector. He has a couple different things that he wrote down that he knows that the board's looking for. Does anybody else have anything in the audience at this time? I think the
all I
proper
had.
thing would, yeah,
That's
I
all
think,
I had.
I think the good thing would be to,
As far as
we
the-
get to the next meeting, we'll get some answers, that they know what some of your concerns are, we can address that. And hopefully we come to some sort of understanding as to what we're doing with that. Dan, do you have anything?
No,
No?
no,
I wake you up?
no.
All right. I'm just teasing you, bud. Anybody else have anything on the board? No? Okay, so I guess that's the game plan. So if you could come in, get on the agenda for, I'll make sure, I want Ken to stay on you because I want you on that next agenda.
Something written up on it all.
Actually, what I will do, ask Jen to put it on the next agenda. I want it on there. They don't have to come in and apply for that. So just ask Jen to put that on the agenda for me. If you can. I'll put a note here, but who knows if she's gonna find it. I keep losing the papers. So,
I'll make sure it's put on.
yep. With that, you guys are gonna have a good night, and we'll see you in a month.
Thank you.
April 3rd. Okay?
April 3rd, is that?
April 3rd, yep. Just he'll explain all that about that bylaw, but just, you should take strong consideration on what that's saying in there. I'm gonna write it in here too, so hopefully she sees it.
Yeah, I'll get it.
31 Glen Street.
Would tomorrow be too soon to come and see you?
He called. I don't know what.
Tomorrow's gonna be a tough day for him, because we're getting 2 inches of rain tonight, and I know for a fact, he's not even gonna be around tomorrow. He'll probably be really grumpy, so you might wanna wait until either Friday or
Next
Monday.
week, Sam.
Hip weight is on and his,
Yeah.
Five gallon bucket.
Kayak in the back of the truck, yeah.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you. Margaret, just observing, just watching what's going on. Yep. Just making sure. I didn't want to be rude to you.
No.
Do we have any meeting minutes in our little packet? Yes, we do. We have December 6th. No, and I just found the continuance form. Oh, well. Doesn't matter. It should be, it's either, it's going to work or it's not. Should be able to do it in one meeting. Do you have your meeting minutes, Dan? Yeah?
Yes, I do.
Good.
And Roberta.
So,
That's what you said, that date was.
no. This is December, no, that was correct, well,
That would have been correct. That was December.
yeah, that is correct, because it's December 6th. So what we're talking about, Dan, is Ken had read the minutes, and he thought that it was the final meeting of that first item on there that the applicant was going to ask for a continuance, but it was at the first meeting that he did that, so it was, the meeting minutes are correct. This girl's never gonna let me have these books again. Everybody's ready? Looking for a motion to accept the meeting minutes of December 6, 2023.
Yeah, I make a motion to accept the minutes of December 6, 2023 as written.
Motion's been made,
Second?
second by Jim Palmer. Any further discussion?
No.
No. All in favor, roll call, please.
Palmer, aye?
Ron Forget, aye.
Dan Heaney, aye.
Fitzpatrick, aye. So the last thing that we have, we already signed all our vouchers. The last thing I'm looking for is just an update on North Brown. Where do we stand with that?
Okay, North Brown, I have not received their monthly inspection from our engineering firm. I'll be on the phone tomorrow trying to find out what that is. Did have a discussion with Neil this past week, he put a foundation in on the right-hand side of Nautical Way. I questioned him with the distance off the road, it looked awful close. He went up, remeasured, he said it was staked by the engineers, he said it's 23 feet off the road. I said, I don't want to hear that it's 23 feet off the pavement, it's got to be 23 feet off the setback. And there'll be no leniency if it's not. So I told him, when the foundation goes in, I want an as-built on that foundation.
Where are they, so where are they pulling that dimension from? Where'd you tell them to pull the dimension from?
I told him to pull the dimension from the benchmark, wherever that is.
Okay, so this here, and Dan will remember this, because it's a condo project that has no lot lines, the only dimension that you can pull off of in there is the proposed center line of that road. So you gotta figure out where that is, because they don't necessarily put the road where it is. We ran into that in phase one, wasn't it, Dan, that we ran into that problem?
Correct.
Correct. Oh, you remember oh, no problem, I can fix that, I'll cut the pavement. No, that doesn't go from the edge of the pavement like that. So that's, make sure that it comes off that. That's the only detail that you have in there that'll give you a dimensional point to measure from, is the center line of the proposed road, not the actual road.
I explained to him, you already went through it once before, and you found a way to figure it out, but you're not gonna have any leniency on it. If the house is not where it's supposed to be, you're gonna have to figure a way to move it.
But again, I'm gonna tell you, make sure that they're pulling off that center line, because that's what the dimension that we use.
But that's why I told him I want an as-built from the engineer.
Yep, but you said the setback, so it comes from the center, I'm done.
Well,
I'd be
I'm utilizing
cautious.
that, saying,
I would caution you to make sure that it's correct, because when they get all said and done, they gotta do an as-built, and if they have a whole bunch of houses off, we're gonna have a big problem.
because I made mention to him, it doesn't even look like you can park a vehicle in there that's gonna be hanging over the road. One thing he did make note of is that.
Well, they made 16-foot driveways, so I should be able to park my dually in there all
Sideways.
day long.
They have no sidewalks on that center road going through there.
Why not?
It's not on the plans.
It was never on the plan?
Never on the plans
Never on the plan for a sidewalk?
for the center road. It only goes around the perimeter of the site. Compass Point, and what, I believe it's Compass Point all the way around, right? The outside road? Yeah, it's only sidewalk on the outside road, because I questioned him on that. I said, what side are you putting the sidewalk on? There's no sidewalk on the center road. So unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to get into the plans again, but I'm gonna get into the plans, and
I would confirm that, I don't,
I'm hard pressed to believe that there's no sidewalk on there, but.
that doesn't make any sense at all to me. Dan, do you ever recall that there's no sidewalks on that center road?
No, I don't.
Doesn't even make
recall that at
sense.
all.
Yeah.
You would put sidewalks all the way around the circle, but when you cut the line through the middle, you'd take the sidewalks out?
Well, I said to him, I said, of any roads, that would probably be the most important for the people cutting through that don't want to go around the loop. So I'll.
Well, if
dig
it's not on the
into that.
plan, that was a big boo-boo, but I would be surprised that there's no sidewalk there.
Well, I'll be digging into it and finding that out. With regards to the site itself, they continue to clean up that right-hand side. I don't know if anybody's had an opportunity to drive up that. Looks much better. There's still a lot of piles of materials, stone and tailings and stuff, but they are doing a good job of getting rid of it. I again asked them, so you guys gonna be doing that next road on the, starting the
Yeah.
road in the spring? He says, well, that's the hope. I said, just remember, you gotta have your bonding in place before you start.
When they
that."
get to the finals, part of phase 3 before they start 4 is when that bonding starts.
He said, what the bonding for that road? I said, no, the bonding for the project, all the roads.
They know what it's for.
No,
Any more talk about doing that center section with the riprap in it instead of, and putting grass in it like it was
I
designed?
explained to him, and then I'm not going over it again with them.
I know that.
explained to him that
At the finish, they're gonna have to
That's not
have
gonna be
it.
there at the finish.
Yeah. Did they ever give you compaction reports on the road that they put in the middle? We did compaction reports on that development when we started, where it was a big, remember that, Bill, when they were using the Bobcat and the roller, and then their compactions kept failing?
Right.
You're supposed to have compaction reports on that.
That I don't know, I'll have to check into that.
Check with, is it Leonard still?
Yep.
Yeah, so ask Leonard for the compaction reports, and if he says that we don't have any, ask him why he stopped doing them, because we started doing them right from the very beginning of the project.
Right. Because it's all running out of the 53G account anyway, so.
Yep.
Well, like I said, I haven't received the report for this.
Because we have a constant changing of the guards, it's easy to try to jump off script, so.
How much more building have they got to put up there?
25% of it.
Yeah, they got over 30 units left to build in there, out of 120.
28, was it?
So how many units in one building?
Two.
Yeah, it's a duplex, yeah. So they got, what, 15 more buildings?
No, they've got 20,
20 more buildings?
yeah, I would
40 units, 20 buildings.
say. At least, they get the outer loop, so I think we were at about 74 when Compass itself was completed. Now Nautical's, all permits have been issued for one side, and 4 permits issued for the other side, so there's still about 5 on the right-hand side of Nautical, and then the whole phase 4, or phase 3, whatever you want to call it. I think it's 38 units left. Other than that, they redid the wrap coming out of their construction entrance site. They have a sweeper up there for their Bobcat, so I keep on them about that. I haven't had any more complaints from any of the residents the last couple of weeks anyways.
Still early.
Yeah,
No.
I'll tell it tomorrow.
Okay, anybody else have anything on North Brown? Dan?
No, all
No.
set.
Good run?
Yep.
Jim?
Fine.
Yeah. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
I
So moved. So moved, all right, you want to?
Second.
All right, we're going to do that before we do ayes? Okay. All in favor, roll call.
Palmer, aye.
Forget I.
Dan Heaney, aye.
Fitzpatrick, aye.